Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Khalil Doheny, and I'm head of content on Digital Niche Agency. Really excited for today's webinar. We have the team of Boodskap. Team, how are you guys doing today?
Hi, Khalil. Doing good.
Awesome.
Hi, Khalil. Good.
Awesome. And while people are tuning in and coming into through the door, Jigan and Amal, do you guys want to give a quick, background of yourselves and what we can expect from today's webinar?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Jagan Vincent. I'm the founder and CEO of Boodskap. In today's webinar, first of all, thank you for all spending some time in attending this webinar. In today's webinar, we're going to see a little bit of the technology behind the Boodskap, an in-depth understanding about the various kinds of IoT platforms and our competitors, and also the feature sets of various IoT ecosystems, and also the market trends and the by 2030 the landscape of IoT, and the few companies like McKinsey and Gartner and Beecham has predicted the landscape of IoT, and we're going to go over most of it and how Boodskap is aligned towards the future of IoT. That's what you're going to see in this webinar.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, we're going to have some time towards the end for Q&A, but I do want to throw a quick disclaimer out there. If you do have any questions around financials or any looking forward statements, please reference the Title III funds page for all that information. Unfortunately, on this webinar, we can't discuss that. So I will add the link here in the chat box. So if you have any questions around those, please check out the raise page. Any other questions, please leave them in the chat box below. With that being said, Jagan, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Khalil. Yeah, good morning again. So what is Boodskap? Boodskap is all about building a next generation IoT platform, and we are headquartered in Dallas, Texas, and also we have a team of developers sitting in India, Chennai as well, and so the McKinsey and Company and few other predictive agencies have figured out there are about 25 billion IoT connected devices today, and it is growing at the rate of 25% year over year. It's pretty staggering number. And what we do here in Boodskap is we have a horizontal platform where you can connect any kind of IoT device, stream any data, and build your application using drag and drop, low code, no code platform. That's the overall big picture of Boodskap platform. Now, when you say there are 25 billion connected devices, these could be sensors, smart devices, actuators, smart bulbs, home automation devices, and it goes on and on. Several million devices, several million classified devices are there in the market, and those use various kinds of connectivity to talk to the backend, which is the platform. Say, for instance, a modern IoT equipment will communicate using MQTT protocol. A very miniature in nature IoT device may communicate through a constraint protocol, which is COAP. The old generation or a decade-old M2M devices still used to communicate through UDP, TCP, FTP, and stuff like that. Now, we only specialized in IoT, so we understand the ecosystem a lot better than our competition. So we have built this connectivity module, which can understand pretty much any device on this earth. And if you don't have a feature set, and it is pretty easy for us to go and implement a new protocol on the fly, because the platform supports plug and play modules to implement a new protocol on the fly. And now, once you have connected the device to the backend, the sky is your limit. Meaning, you could literally use the widget editors to drag and drop and assemble either mobile apps or web apps, and just one push of a button, it goes to both Android Play Stores and Google App Stores as well. And so what is the current opportunity? When you look into the big picture, McKinsey predicts that by 2030, the economic value of the entire IoT ecosystem will be somewhere between 12.6 trillion to 5.5 trillion. But again, this number is staggering number, which is inclusive of the consumer products, the customers, IoT products and services, all together, all ecosystem put together. Now, it is literally impossible for a single company to go and capture all of these values. And again, if you drill down to the opportunity, they have categorized into home office, vehicle telemetry, retail, outside, and stuff like that. And since Boodskap has already functioning in government sectors and factory automation and vehicle telemetry, we have a pretty good chance of getting into a $100+ billion obtainable market, even though the total addressable market is 740 billion according to the classification. The addressable market can be somewhere between 250 and the obtainable market can be 100+ billion. That's what Boodskap believes in. And going back with the history of Boodskap, it was bootstrapped by 3 founders, myself, Amal, and Rajesh, back in 2015 and 16. Essentially, it was an R&D operation by the time, and 17 by friends and family. We bootstrapped with 7 members, and today we are in a shape of 75+ members with a lot bigger office in both in Dallas and Chennai, India as well. And so here is what exactly Boodskap offers to the developer community, as well as customers, as well as for the product sector as well. Now, from one point, Boodskap is a horizontal IoT platform, meaning it has 100+ pre-baked components. Using those components, you literally can onboard an IoT device or a sensor or an actuator on the fly. And this will save a ton of your time. If you look into our competition, you still have to have an army of engineers to go figure out what needs to be done to connect your devices. In our case, we understand the device world very, very efficiently. So developer doesn't have to spend a lot of time in broadcasting your device data to the backend platform. And of course, it is very customizable and very heavily scalable. So if you want to take a specific module and extend or adapt into a different way, so your device has a very specific feature that needs to be implemented in a different way, that is also possible using the customization part as well. Now, when it comes to the connectivity part, we pretty much support every possible IoT protocol ever exists today. As a matter of fact, the platform is capable of pulling or pushing data through even emails, SFTP, FTP, TFTP servers, the old legacy UDP datagrams and ICMP packets, and it goes on like that. And of course, we are on top of the ever-growing industry of MQTT telemetry protocol as well. And the platform is fully capable of supporting either structured data or unstructured or semi-structured data as well. So using the same backend, you could pretty much build audio video streaming applications or command center application or some kind of a security backend where you need to capture a lot of visual images through your webcams or audio devices. All those data can be brought into the backend very scalably and securely. Then you have the drag and drop workflow engine where you can customize your data. What do you want to do with the data? Once you got the data in the backend, what do you want to literally do with that? In a competitive world, typically when somebody comes up with an IoT idea, they have to put together an engineering team, an R&D team, a software development team, and a UI UX team. All those team has to be working unanimously and cohesively to develop IoT applications. Typically, an IoT application from the ground to go to the customer's market, it may take literally about 8 months to a year and a half in some cases. Using Boodskap, literally you could cut down to 85 to 90% of your time by simply not worrying about all these nitty-gritty things which are not really needed for every business to, and of course, our low code, no code editors has 90% of time. You could very quickly build a proof of concept and go talk to your customers, understand their requirements. And once you got the data using the, the drag and drop mobile app editors, you could spit out of a mobile app on the fly, and literally you could go to market in few days compared to several months or years compared to our competitive options. And of course, we also support a ton of APIs. We have more than 2,500 APIs, which can be used to build custom IoT solutions. For example, you are coming up with some kind of a kiosk application or some kind of a human interface devices or a robotic application which needs to talk to the platform through APIs. We support that API options as well. And our public facing platform, we run the platform on almost all cloud providers today, including AWS, Azure, Oracle Cloud, as well as Alibaba Cloud, and even you can set up your own Docker cloud and stuff like that. And you could start your journey of Boodskap platform by simply registering into the platform with a free plan, and of course you could you could scale the instance by pay per use. If your business is growing, you could jump from beginner to basic to professional, and then obviously we have enterprise packages as well for large audiences. And as a part of our the platform ecosystem, we also help developers and universities and college students to learn IoT application building by offering open source IoT boards. We have published more than 17 different IoT boards, both in Bluetooth low energy, LoRaWAN, and also ESP32, Arduino based and Raspberry based applications. So if anyone has any idea, they simply can download this schematics and print their own circuit boards and develop a prototype very quickly. And literally you save some ton of time instead of doing all these R&Ds. Typically every company who goes through this process needs at least 4 to 5 engineers tracking down a hardware, which will literally take a year or a couple of years to go to market. So using Boodskap own customized hardware packages, one can very quickly go to market as well. These boards has board support packages which works with the platform out of the box. So again, the platform is literally classified according to the industry. The IoT platforms are really classified into 5 major categories: device connectivity, device management, application delivery, analytics, and cloud-centric platform. Boodskap is an end-to-end platform, meaning literally you can onboard your hardware and go to your customer and sell your software. All these things can be designed and developed and implemented on top of Boodskap. That's why we call Boodskap as end-to-end platform. And like I said, we founders, we have more than 70 plus years of M2M telemetry and IoT experience, working for various corporates, and all of us has more than 2 decades of experience in handling large teams, implementing some state-of-art projects, and dealing with the different demographic clients and customers, as well as software teams across the globe. So, and also we have an interesting, ever-growing clientele, and state of Massachusetts is one of our, a large customer, and we work with, AI and ML companies. We work with universities, We work with, typically speaking, like I said, since it's a horizontal in nature platform, almost every possible customers who's dealing with any sort of M2M telemetry or IoT application can be our customer. And one of the reason we are raising this capital is to go and expand our arms by collaborating with all the system integrators. As you know that, McKinsey has predicted that $12 trillion ecosystem, out of that $12 trillion, 30% is being catered by the top 20 companies across the world. These are the largest system integrators. And we really are looking forward to go work with these guys to go to market into various different, industries and applications, of course. And also, we help universities and school students by providing cost-effective economic, private cloud offerings as well. Cities which doesn't have a lot of good internet connectivities, if they still want to learn the system or they want to develop and deploy a certain IoT application very securely on premises, we have solutions as well. And this is exactly, this is the key differentiator, what we differ from our competitions like Azure or AWS or IBM Watson IoT. So literally, reliable, scalable, and portable is one of our the top-notch differentiator. And of course, low code, no code, and full code. When I say low code, no code, and full code, a developer journey, most of the time, a hardcore developer needs to fully understand, and they want to completely customize some of the code part. So we call that as a full code ecosystem. And from a business perspective, people with a lot of business knowledge and customer knowledge, or rather domain knowledge, they want a low code system where they want to drag and drop and deliver applications. The platform supports that as well. And obviously, any device, any protocol, any medium is one of our major strengths. If you look into most of our competition, they simply have MQTT protocol and they simply accept JSON messages. And that's all. You cannot really deal with unstructured data, or even semi-structured data is not supported as well. And the volume, velocity, and variety is also one of the key points. Most of the competitions, there is a lock with their either velocity or a volume or a variety. In terms of Boodskap, typically speaking, millions and millions of varieties of devices the platform supports. We deal with simple temperature sensors through a very huge HVAC systems as well, which sends more than 4,000 different parameters. And typically, you can come up with any kind of different sensors and onboard it to the platform in literally no minutes. And one of the other major interesting interesting feature is stream processing and batch processing and pipeline processing. Literally, none of our competitor has this feature till today. Meaning, if you have several million devices reporting, and if you want to take the data and do some kind of a machine learning on the background, or do some kind of preventative maintenance by learning on the fly, or take this data and feed into a third-party system like ChatGPT or any other ML processing, you can on the fly create streams, batches, and pipeline, and you can take an onboard. I could keep talking about the lot of other features as well. Now these are some of the the cool features, literally that will cut down a lot of your development effort and go to market very quickly, which is the platform has a Lambda style micro API, which is very similar to Azure Functions or AWS Lambdas. The one advantage of Boodskap micro API versus other competition is you don't have to deploy. In other platforms, you come up with a function, you write the function using one of your popular language, and then you still need to deploy and maintain it. In our case, it's on the fly. Just in case, if you write a function and push the save button, that's all. The function is visible to the internet. And also the functions the micro APIs can be heavily protected. Either you can keep it open so people can access anywhere from the world can access, or you can keep, we can secure with a lot of different methodologies like, API tokens or secret keys or two-factor authentication. All these things are added advantage of having a micro APIs in the platform. And obviously, the platform is built for multi-tenancy capability, meaning we have healthcare applications running on the platform. We have government applications running on the same platform. And also we have a simple temperature sensor versus an entire building management system is also running. So it is a true multi-tenancy capable. You can start with a single tenant, and when your business and customer size grows, you could either expand the tenant or launch a new tenant with different set of applications into that. And obviously, having a single point to deliver the entire suite of application will have a total reduced cost of your total cost of ownership. And yeah, I mean, some of our competitors, we are end to end, in terms of the offering compared with Car IoT, ThingsBoard, Particle, AWS, Azure. We literally on all aspects, including the pricing, the flexibility, the application deliverability, and all nature, we stand tall in front of our competition. And yeah, like I said, we are raising funds to to expand the team, and we to expand the sales and marketing team, and various other internal legal and platform implementation operations. These are the the pattern we are planning to spend. And yeah, and thank you for listening to the webinar. Now it's the time for your questions.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation. As you can mention, yeah, now it's time to get your questions answered. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat box, the Q&A chat box below. I'm already seeing we're starting to have some questions coming in. The first question I see here is, can you explain what structured and unstructured data means?
Absolutely. Yeah. Structured is mostly when you know your data upfront, meaning temperature sensor sending 2 bytes of a short or an integer in a well-formatted way, like a JSON object or a comma delimited. So if you know your data, those are all structured. Typically speaking, a well-formatted JSON object is actually called structured data. And yeah, hope that helps.
Yeah. And I know we talked a little bit about the competition, but what really makes you stand out from other IoT platforms?
Well, that's a very challenging question. We used to keep saying that we are an end-to-end delivery platform, meaning most of the competition where they left, we have picked from there. Meaning either the platforms are cloud platforms or analytics platform or device delivery platforms or data delivery platforms. You could use Boodskap for all of this. On top of it, you could deliver your applications on top of it as well. Meaning you don't have to have an army of engineers to customize your mobile app or a web app or a hardware. As a matter of fact, you just have to have a bunch of engineers. That's all. So that's the major differentiator from our competitors.
With any startup, there's always going to be feedback given, right? How much feedback have you received so far, and what changes have you made based on that feedback?
Oh, we got tons of feedback. Of course, it started reducing nowadays. Back when we launched the 1.0 version, we got a lot of feedback saying that we need this feature and this is not supportable and stuff like that. Obviously, as a startup, when we launch products, we take a lot of customer reviews, and yeah, the most interesting feature is they will compare with our competitor, and they'll ask, can you implement this feature? And that's more than 400 different features got implemented that way. By the way, that's a great question.
And then why is this the right time for the product?
Absolutely. Cannot be a better time in this world, meaning, see, uh, people, as a developer, they always want to prove themselves, meaning if they want to deliver an IoT product, most of the developers, they want to develop everything by in hand. That was the previous generation's attitude. Nowadays, the competition is so high and new products are being launched almost every day and every hour. Now, why do you want to reinvent the wheel again and again? So an horizontal platform is the need of the time right now, and it cannot be a better time than this.
And what is your plan to scale? And can you expand on the exit strategy?
Absolutely. No, we scaling wise, we have lots of plans. So right now we have partnered with Microsoft, we have partnered with AWS. Literally, with their kind of cloud backend, we could scale the way we really want it. As you know that we are a startup, and we have roughly about 4,500 instances running on the cloud. So we are scaling on the fly as well. In terms of exit, the both questions are same questions, right? Exit and the scale. Yeah. In terms of exit, obviously, we are ambitious towards taking it towards IPO. But again, we're not going to ignore the option of M&A if the option is lucrative.
Awesome. And then what is the story behind Boodskap? How did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, that's a great question. See, all my life, myself and my founders, most of the time, we used to work with clients for delivering M2M telemetry products in my previous companies and previous products. Now, we figured out there are time and again, we reinvent the wheel again and again for every different implementations. So we really thought of collecting all those commonly used, reused, rather commonly recreative ideas, we all put together and made as a platform. That was the original idea. And we also figured out that while doing that, we literally was able to reduce the time to market by 85% of the time. That's a real reason behind of creating the platform.
And do you have any partnerships that you can talk about?
Yes, of course. We have, when I say partnerships, yes, there are partnership in the pipeline. There are partnerships, mostly in North America and US. And right now we are trying to partner with, other countries, like, we are trying to enter the European market and also the Middle East and also the African segment as well. In terms of, partnership, we cannot disclose certain things right now. And we have some major partnerships, in the pipeline.
So I want to talk a little bit more about the campaign, the crowdfunding campaign. Why did you decide to go the equity crowdfund route?
Again, this is a great question. See, as a platform, we figured out, talking to a few investors, literally we could have raised the funds. But we really want to go this crowdfunding way. The only reason is because it is a horizontal platform and we want to reach the masses. And we figured out most crowdfunding investors will always have a common, connectivity, and the more and more people come to us, it's literally, it's indirectly, it's marketing for us. So we really want to exercise this option and see how we get reacted in the market.
What trends are you seeing in this market?
Right now, after the SVB bank collapse and ChatGPT, I see a lot of ups and down trends. But generally, it's awesome. The journey, we have come across in the last, 4 years, it's onwards and upwards. In case, when I spoke to my colleagues and friends back 5 years back, saying that the IoT market is going to enter a $1 trillion industry, literally, nobody believed it, or nobody, even listened to that. Now look into that. It has already surpassed 5 trillion in industry. When Beecham or Gartner predicted way back in 2012, the IoT segment there was no literally IoT platform existed in 2009 and 10. So now you see at least we have 12 different competitions and 4,000 different IoT products in the market. So yes, the future is very bright and I see a great ton of opportunity coming on the way.
Awesome. And this is a two-part question is who is the ideal customer for Boodskap and how are sales up to date?
Absolutely. There are two ideal customers to Boodskap. Of course, a lot of different segments, but the OEM, original equipment manufacturers, who comes up with IoT device idea, and those are the they are our predominant customers. So we can help them go to market very quickly. The second customer is system integrators. This is the large segment today because there are more than 2,000 companies across the globe. They does all these IoT system integrations. So they can be our customers. Yeah.
Can you list some of the customers you have right now?
It's state of Massachusetts, Nokia, and Buddy AI, and of course, we recently joined Microsoft and Vital Probe, whatnot. Yeah, ABB.
In your own words, what would be the top 5 reasons to invest in Boodskap?
That's a great question. See, we strongly, we have this DNA, like, Boodskap was a bootstrap company, and we are very patient enough, and also we are very futuristic thought process business management team who really envision that the horizontal platform is the future of IoT. And I cannot give any kind of forward-looking statement here. And our real intention is to make everyone happy, and everyone, whoever invests in this company, want to make them as rich as possible. Yeah, that's it I can say.
Awesome. And where can I go to invest, as well as find any contact information in case I have any future questions?
You could simply shoot a question in title3funds.com, and we will answer you right away within an hour.
I will drop that link here once more. We do have some time here. If you have any other questions, please drop them in the chat box below. Jagan, Amal, is there anything else you guys wanted to leave the audience with today?
I'm good, Khalil. Amal, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think we are good. I think we pretty much answered everything, and we talked about our company, and hope this helps our audience to make the decision.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I do want to thank everyone who attended the webinar today. And for those who weren't able to attend the webinar, don't worry. This webinar has been recorded. So we will have a full recap around the webinar. So stay tuned for that. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk about Boodskap and the investment opportunity. Thank you, everyone who attended the webinar today. Thank you for those who are going to be watching it down the line. I hope everyone has a good rest of your days.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.